The India-Pakistan conflict is rooted in the 1947 partition of British India, which created two separate nations and ignited a long-standing dispute over the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. Both countries claimed the region, triggering multiple wars and setting the stage for enduring hostility. Over time, this dispute has been compounded by political, religious, and territorial tensions. Nationalist ideologies have intensified the divide. India's push for a singular national identity often clashes with the region's diversity, while Pakistan views India's military growth as a threat to regional balance. The latest flashpoint was a terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Indian-administered Kashmir, which killed 26 civilians, including 25 Indian tourists. India blamed the Islamic Resistance Front, linked to Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba. In retaliation, India launched Operation Sindoor, targeting alleged terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Pakistan responded with drone strikes, escalating the crisis. These events reflect more than territorial friction. They are rooted in historical grievances, identity politics, and power struggles, feeding a dangerous cycle of mistrust and aggression. India and Pakistan's military strengths reflect their divergent geopolitical ambitions. India, ranked fourth globally by global firepower, has a defense budget of $75 billion and 1.4 million active troops. Its arsenal includes over 4,200 tanks, 643 combat aircraft such as Rafale jets, and advanced missile systems like the S-400. Pakistan, ranked 12th, operates on a $7.6 billion defense budget with 654,000 active personnel. Its strengths lie in strategic partnerships and specialized capabilities, including 2,600 tanks and 418 combat aircraft, like the J-10C jets from China. Crucially, both nations possess nuclear weapons, India with around 172 warheads, Pakistan with 170, creating a precarious equilibrium where conventional conflicts risk spiraling into nuclear war. India's defense modernization has benefited from Western technology, including Israeli drones and French jets. Pakistan, meanwhile, aligns with China and Turkey, leveraging Eastern military technologies to bolster its defenses. These alliances and assets increase the risk that regional disputes could draw in global powers, complicating diplomatic efforts and raising the stakes of every confrontation. On April 22, 2025, the terrorist attack in Pahalgam reignited hostilities between India and Pakistan. India launched Operation Sindoor on May 7th, targeting 9 sites it alleged were involved in planning the assault. The strikes used Rafale jets with precision weaponry, BrahMos missiles, and Israeli Harop drones. India characterized the operation as focused and restrained. Pakistan denounced the attacks as aggression and responded with drone and missile strikes, causing casualties on both sides. This confrontation marks the most serious escalation since the 1999 Kargil conflict. In a further provocative move, India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, drastically reducing water flow into Pakistan via the Chenab River. Pakistan reported a 90% drop in water supply and warned that tampering with shared water resources could be considered an act of war. As military posturing intensified, the international community expressed alarm. While the U.S. remained largely passive, Gulf nations, particularly Saudi Arabia, began mediating. Diplomatic efforts, however, struggled to contain the growing crisis. As the conflict escalates, civilians are caught in the crossfire. Heavy shelling along the line of control has claimed the lives of 35 civilians, 18 in Indian-administered Kashmir and 17 in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, displacing thousands and plunging border communities into chaos. The suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty has deepened Pakistan's water crisis, threatening agriculture and food security in Punjab. Crops are failing, and rural communities face dire shortages. India has responded by initiating Operation Abhyas, a nationwide civil defense campaign that includes air raid drills, blackout exercises, and emergency preparedness training, underscoring how deeply the conflict is impacting civilian life. Cultural and sporting events are also affected. The Indian Premier League has been suspended, with international players departing, highlighting how conflict disrupts not only politics and security, but daily life and national morale. Despite mounting casualties and disruptions, diplomatic progress remains elusive. The growing toll on civilians emphasizes the urgent need for peace. This conflict has become a stage for global rivalries as major powers maneuver to protect strategic interests in South Asia. The US and Western allies, historically cautious in the region, are focused on the Indo-Pacific and their strategic partnership with India. Defense deals have surged, benefiting Western arms manufacturers and deepening military ties. China, meanwhile, uses the crisis to solidify its alliance with Pakistan. Investments through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and military cooperation offer Beijing increased regional leverage and intelligence on Indian capabilities. Russia remains diplomatically engaged with both nations, offering mediation and arms supplies to sustain its influence. For Moscow, the conflict is an opportunity to counterbalance Western dominance in the region. The economic impact is global. Energy markets have reacted sharply to instability in South Asia, with oil prices rising amid fears of disruption to shipping lanes. Investors have turned to safe assets, underscoring how regional conflict can shake global markets. The India-Pakistan crisis has thus become part of a larger strategic contest between East and West, adding layers of complexity and urgency to the situation. The India-Pakistan standoff has grown into one of the most dangerous crises in recent memory. With nuclear weapons in play and diplomatic efforts faltering, the world stands on edge. India's suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty is seen by Pakistan as an existential threat, raising the specter of water warfare. These developments show how fragile bilateral agreements can be in the face of growing nationalism and distrust. In the absence of strong Western mediation, Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE have stepped up efforts to diffuse tensions. Their diplomatic engagement signals a shifting global order where regional powers take the lead in peace efforts. Yet progress is slow. Propaganda, nationalism, and historical grievances complicate diplomacy. Misinformation fuels public anger, making compromise politically risky. In this environment, constructive dialogue is both essential and elusive. Civilians continue to suffer. Casualties mount, livelihoods are disrupted, and the cultural fabric frays under the weight of war. The suspension of the IPL is emblematic of the broader societal toll, where even leisure and unity are casualties. The India-Pakistan conflict is more than a regional feud. It is a flashpoint with global implications. Behind the military maneuvers and diplomatic posturing lie deeply human consequences. The road to peace will be difficult, but it is the only path forward. Courageous leadership, international support, and a renewed commitment to dialogue are imperative. For the people of India and Pakistan, and for the world, the cost of inaction is too high. The time for peace is not tomorrow. It is now.